Oh man, I tell you, I've been jamming to this music now for like the last 5 minutes while I've just been preparing to record this next episode, and the nostalgia is real, right? I know I've already done like an hour practice playthrough of this yesterday before playing this today, but holy shit, man, the nostalgia is real, you know? Like, this music is pretty much literally my childhood. This music is like the music of my childhood. So I'm super fucking stoked. But anyway, hello everybody. My name is Armbold Gamer. Welcome back to my playthrough of SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Speaking of which, we need to stay hydrated today, and that's because it's the hottest day of the year, or one of the hottest days of the year so far. And I have some water here that's slowly going warm. By next episode, I'm going to need to pick up another bottle of water that's cold. But anyway, in the last episode we got this game started. We went through all the tutorial gaff, and we have a lot of stuff that we need to do right here, right now in Bikini Bottom before we go off to the first world. So
SpongeBob,
let's talk to Mr. Krabs here.
Robot crisis is making the Krusty Krab lose money like a sinking ship. No money means no more Krusty Krab. No more Krusty Krab means no more fry cooking for you.
No more fry cooking?
But because you're gullible, I'm gonna help you out. And of course make a small profit in return. I've got a few golden spatulas that I'll be willing to trade to you for some of those shiny objects.
Yeah, right, okay. So this is what I was telling you about last episode, right? Sorry I went silent there for a bit to let you listen to the dialogue, but that's what I was telling you about last episode. Oh, actually, no, I wasn't telling you about that last episode. I mean, I did tell you that the shiny objects could buy stuff, but I didn't in this session yet say this. Mr. Krabs is the other Patrick. Patrick wants socks for spatulas. Mr. Krabs wants shiny objects for spatulas. But the thing is, to get every spatula that Mr. Krabs has, you have to pay him upwards of about 100,000 shiny objects in total. And it is a pain in the fucking arsehole. So I am not going to be getting every single collectible in this game for that reason. I will not be getting every sock. I will not be getting every single spatula from Mr. Krabs. Simply because that is a pain in the arse that I'm not willing to go through. I want to try and get through this game before I die, hopefully. You know, I don't want to spend the next several years on this bloody game. Also, I think I've fucked this. I don't think I'm going to get over to the spatula. I am going to get over to the pants though, so that's good. Although we've activated the platform now, so we should be alright. We just have to get on the platform. Oh, right, okay, we have to go around the back here. SpongeBob, move quicker. Good grief. Alright, come on, platform. God. It's so weird to see like all the detail in the distance in this game now. Actually, you know what? I might take the opportunity while I have it to take a good look around from up here at this vantage point, because I didn't do that in my practice session. I think that'd be a really good idea to just get a good look around at the actual detail that they've put into this. So the first world obviously is over there, it's Jellyfish Fields. And the first thing I noticed in my practice run was how the worlds look exactly as they do when you get into them. So you can see the road leading over into Jellyfish Fields there, and you can see it leads to obviously another sign over there just above SpongeBob's head. And you can see how the landscape is formed over there. That is actually how the world looks. Like, that is the basic low-res, low-texture version of what the actual landscape of Jellyfish Fields looks like. It is ridiculous, the level of detail they've put into that. It's the same with all of these. Downtown Bikini Bottom, that's exactly how it looks when you get there. Goo Lagoon, this is exactly how it looks when you get there. Although actually it's a little bit like they've taken a bit of the piss, because it doesn't actually, like, it isn't all that close. Together, all of those details, the sandcastle there, the beach and all that, but it's cool looking. And then of course, you know, we can't get over there yet, but you can see all the stuff that's over there, which is cool. And you can even see the ships over there in the fucking graveyard. That right there is probably the neatest thing about this whole like game, is the level of detail in this. I mean, we're going to see it when we go into Jellyfish Fields too, but just the fact that I can stand here on top of Squidward's house and I can see those two ships in probably one of the last levels in the whole game is ridiculous. That is a level of detail I'd never expected from this game. So anyway, we've collected the spatula and the extra pants. So now we have, oh no, sorry, don't do that. Now we have 4 potential health. So now we need to go into Squidward's house because there's 2 items we can also collect in here. And then we can go to the first world of the game. Oh my god, first these stupid rock. Okay, why am I reading this? I've got this weird thing in my head that wants to read the dialogue that's on screen. But I should keep remembering. I need to keep reminding myself that these characters talk. They have dialogue, you know, and I can't talk over it because that's so that would be really annoying. And by that I mean I can't. Wait, what am I saying? Talk over it? I mean like skip over it. If I kept skipping dialogue, it would be really annoying because the way the dialogue works in this game, it sort of plays dialogue clips as you go through the dialogue boxes. So if I skipped over the dialogue box, it would just skip the dialogue and go straight to the next character's dialogue. So, I mean, I could try here. It's going to be really annoying, but you can just skip the dialogue and it just cuts off and stops. You know, like that's... I feel like that's going to be really annoying after a while if I do that through the whole game. But I've got to try and find a balance, I suppose, between showing the dialogue and not spending like half a video just listening to dialogue. Because, you know, I do want to talk, I do want to commentate, and I'm not going to be able to do that very easily if I'm, you know, if I'm constantly stopping to listen to dialogue. Alright, so this is, we get a sock for breaking everything in Squidward's house, and for jumping around a bit as well. He gives us a spatula. I think I might be able to gauge pretty well actually when these guys stop talking from when their mouths stop moving, so that might be my way of getting around this problem that I'm slowly suffering from. But we'll see how things pan out. There's also another thing you can do in here as well. There you go, you can give Squidward a mustache. Wow. I also like the detail of the things they put in the game as well. In Squidward's house, there's a picture of Bold and Brash on the wall, I think, and there was a picture of Chad Squidward, as they like to call it. Anyway, we're done with Bikini Bottom now, or everything we can do in Bikini Bottom right now, so now we've got to head off to the first world of the game. The first world of the game is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought I would complete it in an hour when I played my hour session yesterday. Turns out, after an hour, I had only gotten to the last area, which would have taken me about another 20 minutes to finish. So, yeah, this level's going to be a bit large. I'm not going to get everything done today. In fact, I'm probably going to stop with this episode. I don't think I'm going to do a third episode today. I just want to get a couple episodes out this week. But I'm certainly enjoying this better than I did yesterday. I had this big thing yesterday. I had a bit of a mental breakdown on video and just kind of, you know, I felt like I didn't feel like doing this. I didn't feel like recording. So, but my voice was not very loud, so I can't really show any of it because it's just not good to listen to. You can barely hear me. But today, though, everything is different. I feel better. I've gotten a good load of sleep. I've eaten. I've done everything I need to do to feel better today. So, oh my god, the fucking dialogue in this game always gets me too. Just the level of comedy that they pulled out of the actual show to put in this game. And I mean, obviously this is all from the original game. No shit. But it's just great. It's just classic SpongeBob comedy. And the character dialogues are classic interactions between the characters too. It really feels like you're a part of a SpongeBob episode. It really feels like you're playing a SpongeBob. Oh, I made a joke about this yesterday, right? That face right there, that is the face of nightmares. Someone needs to make a meme out of that, because that is a nightmare face. My god. Just look at the detail in this level though. Look into the background there. Oh wow, okay, the new update for Elder Scrolls Online's finished installing, cool. Look at the level of detail in the background there. Look at that. Is there any need for that? I mean, just the grass is cool and all of the multi-layered, multi-coloured like areas of the world, but just the detail in the background that you can see all the way into the distance like that is just, that's insane, man. That's insane. It's crazy, but I love it. I love it and I hate it. There's parts of this that are really annoying to me, but parts of it that I think I'll get used to as time goes on. In fact, that's something I mentioned in the first episode that I need to talk about now that we've got the opportunity. The things that I don't like about this remake. So for starters, the spatula animation when you collect a spatula is really it's been drawn back massively. On the PS2 version, SpongeBob has a lot more animation. There is a lot more animation on the spatula, and there's fireworks that shoot out of the sides from SpongeBob in celebration, right? And that is just missing in this game for some reason. They just didn't do that. When you jump into a spatula, SpongeBob laughs in the most stiff, awkward way possible, and the spatula kind of just rises up, spins, and disappears. There's no glowing effect or special effects or no fireworks. It's kind of disappointing, frankly, because that was one of the cool parts about collecting a spatula in the original game, was that celebration of having collected the spatula. But I don't know. It's one of those things that has to be complained about, because it's such a simple thing that should have been easy for them to program in, but they just didn't. So anyway, here we are. Jellyfish Fields, first world of the game, first real world of the game. And now we get an actual chance to look at the level of detail here. This is an insane amount of detail that they've put into this. And I mentioned this yesterday, but I find this to be so cool. Just the grass alone. Just when you're walking through the grass and the grass sort of moves around SpongeBob. I mean, that's such an old technique now, you know, that's been in games for like 10 years. But that is just so neat, because the textures on the original game were just flat green, just like on Spyro. So unlike that, there's actual, like, you know, texture here. You know, there's actual grass, and the color and everything is just, it's fantastic. And then of course, if you look back as well, we could see the path leading here, and you can see the landscape for yourself now. You can see how closely it resembles the actual world. So if you wind back to when I showed you the world in the distance from Bikini Bottom to what it looks like here, you can see they're exactly the same model. It's just the one you can see from Bikini Bottom is a low res model, and if you look back, you can see the street over there, and you can see Goo Lagoon's castle over there. You can see downtown Bikini Bottom, and you can't see. Wait, can you see? Okay, no, you can't see the Flying Dutchman's graveyard, but you can see, like, the dome, I guess, over there. Or no, that's oh my god, there's like so much to this, so much detail. It's crazy. All right, let's try not to wallow in the detail too much, and let's just get on with this, shall we? We've got very little time. 20 minutes at a time we've got to do this, so I don't want to spend 10 minutes of the video just standing around gawking at how good everything looks. This is nice. There's like a robot broken in the ground here. He's got a blinking light there. So in the worlds, there are plenty of things to collect. Loads of spatulas, loads of shiny objects, loads of enemies to kill. It's all going to be a load of fun. It's just going to be a whole load of fun. A barrel of laughs is what it's going to be. I'm wondering if some of the tougher stuff that I had a hard time with in the original game will be easy in this or not. If they will have changed some of the mechanics enough that certain things that used to be really difficult will now be incredibly easy, like the Murmelair ball puzzle. Which was always a real pain in the arse, because sometimes it would work and other times it wouldn't. As a kid, I thought it was entirely broken, or that I was just really bad at it. At first I thought I was really bad at it, and then I thought it was entirely broken. And, well, as it turns out, it is entirely broken, because for some fucking reason, sometimes the buttons don't work. I have no idea why that happens, and neither does anyone else who's ever played the original Battle for Bikini Bottom. But for some reason, some of the buttons that you need to press during that whole ball puzzle just sometimes refuse to work. They just sometimes refuse to be pressed. And I don't think anybody will ever know why. It's just one of those very strange things. But, you know, we'll see how it is in this game. It's probably going to work, you know. Probably just going to, you know, just to fucking, what's the word? Just to spite me, you know. It'll work. There we go. We got the shiny. Ooh, shiny. That's a thing that SpongeBob sometimes says. He says a whole bunch of random quotes when he's collecting and killing stuff during this game, which is great. I love the level of character detail, the attention to character. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. That's the phrase. Oh, so many T keys, so little time. Level of detail on the T keys and everything. I don't know, I have a love-hate relationship, like I said, with the detail of this game. I feel like it's, on one hand, absolutely gorgeous to look at, and on the other hand, I feel like it's a bit more clunky. And that's another thing that I wanted to complain about as well, was the controls feel a little clunkier in this version than in the original. In the original version, everything's a lot more fast-paced and reactive. So, for example, this move here, when I press the square button, it takes a half a second after I stop pressing the square button for SpongeBob to finish his spin. On the PS2 version, it's a lot higher FPS in terms of how fast that move actually like bangs itself out. So that move takes like half a second, which means by the time you let go of the square button, he's already finished spinning, which is, you know, not the case here. So it's a little less reactive, or it feels a little less reactive, which is a bit strange of a move for them to do this, do that with this game. But I think I can learn to live with it. I can learn to live with it, because frankly, everything else about this game is just fantastic. I mean, frankly, if we're being, I keep using the word frankly, but it's the best word I've got in my vocabulary right now. But if we're being honest, I think this game is basically exactly the same as the original game. There's nothing different. It's just the graphics. That's it. Every spatula's in the same place. All the shinies are in the same place. They're all the same shinies. You know, like everything is essentially the same, minus the graphics, which is fine. You know, that's great. You know, we get to have a really nice high quality remake like with Spyro. But at the same time, you know, it's nothing to particularly write home about. You know what I mean? It's not like saying, oh, it's a whole new game and deserves a whole bunch of praise for that and all that sort of thing. It's just Battle for Bikini Bottom. That's all it is. So there's no need to be over-praising it, outside of being like, oh, well, it looks pretty, you know, and that's it. It does. It looks pretty. Cool, you know. So we can just enjoy Battle for Bikini Bottom, basically, which is something that I wanted to do years ago anyway. I wanted to do the original PS2 version a long time ago, but I only ended up doing the gaming shenanigans, so I never ended up getting to do a series on it like I wanted. But now I get to do a series, and I get to do it on a version that looks a lot nicer. Although I'm sure there would be some hardcore fans that would debate that and be like, oh no, I like the original version better. I like the flat plain colours. But yeah, there's something to love about the original with the flat plain colours. I mean, older games with their colour palettes often get a lot of praise and good treatment from gamers when it comes to remakes, because it's like, oh well, you know, the original had more soul. Yeah, that's a thing that comes up a lot, is games with soul. It's like, yeah, okay, fine, alright, I'll give you that if you're nostalgic about a game, then yeah, you're going to be nostalgic for the way it looked when you were a kid, you know. But you can't say that your favourite games as a kid, you didn't imagine what they might look like to be, you know, updated, you know, as the years went by, as games started to look better. You can't go back to those old games and tell me that you don't think sometimes, man, I wonder what this would look like with modern day graphics. You know, and I think that's something that a lot of people just tend to just kind of ignore or forget, is that these games aren't, you know, they aren't perfect in every inconceivable, geez. They're not perfect in every conceivable way. There are plenty of problems with any old game. But, you know, when it comes to graphics, that's probably the least of the worries that people should have. You know, it's like, I don't get the worry about graphics anyway. People get like really antsy about graphics now. It's like, oh, a game needs to be 60 FPS 4K, you know, I need to be able to see my reflection, the reflection of everything in the world in the water, and I need to be able to see the character, the pores of my detail, or the pores of my character's face, you know, like, it's ridiculous, you know, like that's been a thing recently with The Last of Us 2, right? A lot of the praise I see for The Last of Us 2 is simply because it looks great and the mechanics are very realistic in terms of, you know, what it's going for. And yeah, okay, I will give you that, but that's not the only thing about a game. Like, that's I don't feel like that is a good reason to give games, or a game, 10 out of 10s across the board like Last of Us 2 has gotten. In fact, that's one of my biggest problem with game journalism, is the fact that, like, journalists... Hold on. Oh, there we go, okay. One of my biggest problems with game journalism is the fact that journalists don't have diversity of thought, right? So go to the Last of Us 2 Metacritic page and look at the critic reviews, right? Don't worry about the audience reviews. Just look at the critic reviews, and you tell me if it's fair that it has pretty much like 99% positive reviews, 1% mixed reviews, and like no negative reviews. There's not a single negative review for The Last of Us 2 from a critic. That's the problem that I think a lot of people have with games journalism, is that these people don't have any diversity of thought. It's either a game is really good or really shit. There's no in between, you know. And when it comes to games that are either really shit or really good, there's no one on both ends of the spectrum, right? When a game is shit, all the critics call it shit. When a game is good, all the critics call it good, right? There's no people on the opposite end of the spectrum from them for some reason when it comes to critics. So for The Last of Us 2, everyone thinks it's good. There's not a single negative review. That doesn't seem fair, frankly. It seems dumb. But anyway, I digress. I think I'm done for this video. I'm gonna just end it here, and I think I'm gonna go eat because I'm hungry. And we've got a lot more to do in this level when the time comes. But I've had a lot of fun. It's been a good day. It's been a good time, and hopefully we can just get on and have a lot of fun with this as the months go on. So we'll see how things pan out. But thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my rant about game journalism. Maybe I'll talk more about it in the next video. But until then, have a good one. Stay hydrated. Don't forget to do that. And I will see you in part 3. See you later.